it's a hugely significant launch for Audi in India. The A8L facelift is finally launched here, and to talk to us about the car is Balbir Singh Dhillon. He's the head at Audi India. Thank you so much for sparing your time, Balbir.
Thank you for having me.
We said this is significant. You have to tell us how significant is the new A8L for you.
It is very important because we believe in a top-down strategy where we continue to focus on our top-end products because they are our brand shapers, and these are our live advertisements. Wherever these cars go, our brand is promoted automatically. So it is very, very important that we are successful at the top, and the success trickles down to the other models. So that is the importance.
Quite a few changes, right? Comes to design, on the exterior, on the interior. If I would ask you to list out 2-3 biggest changes, biggest highlights on the new A8L, what would they be?
So first of all, the exterior design. If you see the car from the front, you can clearly make the differentiation. This is called a chest-up design, and you see the elements in the front grille, and they reflect light in a way that the elements that you see at the bottom are smaller, and if you go up, they are bigger. So it's very imposing. So this car will not drive in; it will arrive. So that's how we call it as far as the exterior changes are concerned. So there is a lot of investment that we've done in the technology part, which is in digitalization. So for the first time, we are introducing digital matrix headlights.
Yeah.
So this is a technology where there are 1.3 million micro mirrors in these lights that they can move in within 1 second, 5,000 types of light. So whenever a car is driven on the road, it can give a very focused light, and it will also not blind the car coming from the front side.
Right.
Same with the real tail lights. The biggest function, this car mostly is driven by the drivers, and the owner sits at the back, so chauffeur-driven cars.
Yes.
So we have for our customers 3-row seat at the back or a 2-row seat where they can have the massage function, which is available for our customer wherever they are going, they are relaxing themselves. And the music system that we have is a high-end B&O system where with 23 speakers and 19-20 watts of voice, and it can be customized the way you want with 23 woofers. So there is a lot of technology apart from the design, and of course, as I said, this car is not being driven, it is kind of an arrival for an individual. So in and out, it is a pure Audi, and all Audi is full about. The last but not the least, the most important thing for me also is the customization that we are offering. Since this is an FPU car, so you can choose whatever you want on this car. So we have a celebration edition launched at a price point of 1.29 crores, but you can pick and choose whatever options you want. So we want each of our cars that we see on the road to be unique and designed by the owner of this car, and that's what we are trying to promote.
Right. I also see a lot of chrome all over the car, right? Especially a lot of chrome on the face, but even on the profile or the rear. So is that something that the Indian consumer wants? Is that your study?
Absolutely, absolutely. So it really gives a very sophisticated looks to the car, and the car looks a notch above. So that's how the chrome is looked at in India. So it gives you that feeling.
And this ever hot debate of SUVs versus sedans, right? We see SUVs becoming increasingly popular over the last few years. Has it remained somewhat different in this premium end of the luxury space? Do sedans still matter to the consumer?
Well, in luxury space, the consumption of cars is equally between sedans and SUVs, because most of the customers who are being driven, who are chauffeur driven, they tend to buy sedans, and the customers who want to drive by themselves tend to buy SUVs. So in India, the divide is equal. So in this segment as well, if you just look at the top end, we have Q8 available, we have 3 models of e-trons available.
Yes.
So there are multiple options around that price point that we give to our customers. Eventually, customers choose what they want. But said that, in India still, in luxury space, the demand is equal.
Right. With respect to the consumer, you of course have to choose between features, right? What you give in the base variant, what you give in the technology variant, then you leave some features as optional features on the car. So how do you make that call? What do you give as standard? What to give as optional on a car like this?
So whenever we sell cars, we normally do conduct certain studies. Sometimes we do it ourselves, sometimes we do it through third-party agencies, but we are constantly engaged with our customers, in touch with them, and we tend to get the touch and feel feedback. This comes to us either through direct channels, let's say our own teams get in touch with the customers, or through our dealer partners. So we sit together and decide what options to be put in standard, and that's how. Also, in the business we also do competitive studies. So
Right.
everything comes together, and then that's how we plan.
Right. Also, it's been a while that you stopped selling diesel cars in India, right? Even though it only comes with petrol. So you have either petrol cars or you have electric cars right now. What's been your experience like since you started doing that and you moved towards petrol and electrics?
So from 1st of April 2020, when we moved from BS4 to BS6, we decided that we need to clearly define our future goals and strategies. So within our strategy 2025, we decided to move from diesel plus petrol to petrol and electrification, because globally Audi has decided to be a fully electric car company in 2033.
Yes.
And we are aligning with that strategy. It was a very bold but difficult call, because 70% of the market was diesel at that point in time. But I think standing today, when we run past over 2 years, we are quite confident and we are very happy that we took that call. That was also making our product offerings less complex. Our market is where customer wants all the cars available, but the market is not that big. So we have to also keep in mind that we have, let's say, limited models available, but we sell high volumes.
Okay.
So those are the things, or those are the strategies which we had to make. But so far we are very happy. We've launched 5 electric cars and they're doing so well. So customer adaptability towards new technology has been very promising.
Right. And just finally, I want to ask you, Balbir, the post-COVID era, right, the last 2 years, how has the journey been, in terms of either the supply constraints, production, giving to the consumer what he wants? Is it any better than what it was maybe last year? And how do you see the next few months panning out in the luxury space?
Well, first of all, the very first question which you asked, what was last 2 years? I think we've learned. We have been students last 2 years. We have learned from our customers. We have learned from anybody in the society to be human beings before we are business or before we are selling cars. That is something, the biggest learning that has been. But coming back to the second question, which is about supply chain constraints, so they still remain. Semiconductor, Ukraine war, China lockdown, and now new things, which is a supply chain of shipping issues that we are not able to get. Shippings, there are cargoes lying in certain ports and they are not able to move.
Right.
And every car has thousands of components. So the challenges are not ending. I still believe we are improving by each month, but we are completely not out of the water yet. And I only hope that happens sooner than later.
All right. We thank you for your time and wish you all the best for the new A8L.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.